Hey everyone, ready to dive into some seriously cool tech?
Always.
Today we're all about AI image generators,
Oh, yeah, those are.
specifically for iPhone, and get this. The article we're looking at is focused on American users.
Interesting.
It's called 5 Best AI Image Generator for iPhone in 2025 for American Users. So let's see what gems we can uncover. You ready?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, so right off the bat, this article claims that AI image tools are like this revolution in image editing,
Uh-huh.
saying you can go from like zero to hero with just a few taps on your phone. What do you think? Is that just hype, or is there something real there?
I'd say it's definitely more than just hype. What we're seeing now is way beyond just, basic filters.
Right.
These apps are using really complex AI. It's a whole different level of image editing.
All right, so let's get into the article's top 5 picks.
Okay.
First up, ArtSmart. They're calling it the best for quick and diverse image generation.
I've heard of that one.
Sounds perfect for, well, anyone really, but especially if you need things fast.
Yeah, speed is key these days.
Imagine making visuals for, like, a social media campaign in minutes.
Oh, wow,
Or
yeah.
whipping up some concept art while you're, I don't know, on the bus or something.
That's the dream.
Right. What stands out to you about ArtSmart?
Well, I think it's cool how it's designed for both, pros who really know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and also for people who are just starting out with AI image stuff.
So it's kind of got something for everyone.
Exactly. And it has that community feature, which I think is really valuable.
Well, yeah, where people can share their ideas and stuff.
Exactly. It's all about making this tech accessible,
For sure. And the article mentions they give you a ton of credits based on your subscription.
Oh, wow.
We're talking like anywhere from 1,000 to 6,000.
That's a lot.
But they also say there's limited customization. Does that mean you're kind of stuck with like generic-looking images?
Well, it depends on what you're going for.
Okay.
ArtSmart is amazing for generating those cool images from just a simple description, but you might not have as much control over the little details.
I see, like the lighting or the exact arrangement of things.
Yeah, exactly. So if you need to control every single pixel, it might not be the perfect fit.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, next on the list is getimg.ai.
Ooh, I like that one.
This one's all about speed, specifically converting text to images super fast.
I've seen some impressive stuff from getimg.ai.
It's got these features in painting and ControlNet. They sound kind of, I don't know, intimidatingly powerful.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
Can you break those down for us? Like, what do they actually do?
So imagine, you've got this amazing photo, but there's a telephone pole right in the middle of it.
Ugh, the worst.
Right. With in-painting, you can tell getimg.ai to just get rid of that pole.
No way.
And it'll fill in the background so perfectly you'd never even know it was there.
Wow, that's wild.
It's like digital magic, but with AI.
So in painting is for, like, fixing things in photos you already have.
Yeah, you can remove stuff, you can replace parts of an image, like swap a cloudy sky for a sunny one, things like that.
That's so cool. So then what's ControlNet all about?
ControlNet, that's like giving the AI instructions on how to compose the image.
Oh.
Like, let's say you want a picture of, I don't know, a dog catching a frisbee,
Yeah.
but you want it in a specific pose, like jumping really high.
Yeah.
You could give getimg.ai a guide image, like a sketch of the pose.
And it would use that to create the final image.
Exactly. It's like you're collaborating with the AI.
That's next level. So getimg.ai is the way to go if you want, like, really precise control.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of creative power, but it can also be a bit more challenging to learn.
Okay, that makes sense. Now for app number 3, Monica.im.
Ah, Monica.
This one's interesting because it's not just an image generator. It's like a whole AI assistant.
Right. It can do a lot more than just images.
And it supports over 120 languages.
That's huge.
Why is that such a big deal?
Well, it means that people from all over the world can use it in their own language, which is incredibly important for accessibility.
So you could be, I don't know, in France and create an image using French prompts?
Exactly. Or you could be in Korea and use Korean.
That's amazing. It's like breaking down language barriers with AI.
It's really cool.
It seems like Monica.im could be really valuable for people who want to streamline their workflow.
Definitely. And connect with audiences worldwide.
For sure. All right, next up is Artis.
RPs, I've heard good things.
This one's known for making super realistic images.
Yeah, it's really good at capturing those fine details.
But what really sets it apart is its focus on diversity.
Oh, yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about.
Like, how does it handle that?
Well, Artis is all about creating images with a wide range of ethnicities, body shapes, ages.
I mean, it's not just like adding a few different skin tones.
No, it's much more nuanced than that.
So they're really taking this representation thing seriously.
Absolutely. It's about reflecting the real world, in all its diversity.
That's fantastic. And last but not least, we've got Leap.
Leapa, that one's interesting.
This one seems geared towards, like, the marketing pros out there.
Definitely. It's all about streamlining that content creation process.
What's so special about it?
Well, first of all, it integrates with all these other marketing tools.
Like what?
HubSpot, Salesforce, Slack, all the big ones.
Okay, so you could create an image in Leap and then, like, immediately share it to social media.
Exactly, or to your email list or your project management system, all without leaving the app.
Wow, that sounds like a dream come true for busy marketers.
It's all about efficiency.
For sure. But it's not just images, right?
Nope. Loop has models for text, audio, and even video.
Seriously.
Yeah, and it also has these smart research agents.
What?
They can, gather insights for you and help you come up with ideas.
Hold on, I need to wrap my head around that.
So let's say you're working on a campaign, right?
Okay.
These agents can analyze data about, your audience, what your competitors are doing, all that stuff.
So it's like having an AI research team at your fingertips.
Basically, it's pretty wild.
Okay. I'm officially impressed. So we've got a quick overview of these incredible apps.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff.
But before we dive deeper, let's take a step back and look at how this article actually chose these apps.
All right, good idea.
What were their criteria?
So they looked at things like image style needs, what kind of images you need to create.
Makes sense.
Features, obviously, mobile compatibility, ease of use,
Mm-hmm.
output quality, integration with other tools, data security, and customer support.
It's a pretty comprehensive list. Would you add anything to that?
That list covers a lot, but I think one thing that's really important is understanding the AI technology itself.
Okay, why is that?
Well, knowing how these algorithms work can help you make better choices.
About which app to use.
Yeah, and how to use it effectively.
I see.
For example, knowing about diffusion models can help you really appreciate something like ArtSmart.
Which is powered by Stable Diffusion, right?
Exactly. It's like you don't need to be a mechanic to drive a car, but it helps to know a little bit about how the engine works.
That's a great analogy. So if I want to get the most out of these AI image generators, I shouldn't just focus on the bells and whistles.
Right.
I should also try to understand what's happening under the hood.
Absolutely. It'll make you a much more informed user.
All right, we've talked about how to choose these apps. We've talked about the tech behind them. But what about the future?
Ooh, good question.
The article mentions some pretty exciting developments.
Like what?
They talk about even more intuitive tools, real-time editing suggestions,
Okay.
and even AR integration.
Whoa.
Like, are we talking about AI that can read our minds and then project our ideas into the real world? What do you think?
I think it's safe to say AI image generation is going to keep getting more and more amazing. Imagine seeing your edits in real time, using AR, or having an AI that knows your style so well, it can make suggestions as you're creating.
That would be incredible. But with all this power, there must be some, challenges too.
Definitely, there are ethical considerations we need to think about.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Exactly. We'll dive into all of that in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. I'm ready to really dig into these apps.
Me too. Let's do it.
Let's start with ArtSmart. You mentioned it's powered by something called Stable Diffusion.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
Okay, so imagine you've got this perfectly clear picture, and then someone starts adding, noise and static to it. Until it's just a blurry mess. You can't even tell what it is anymore.
Right.
That's kind of what happens when you train a diffusion model, like Stable Diffusion.
Okay.
You feed it tons and tons of images, and you teach it to basically reverse that process.
You go from blurry back to clear.
Exactly. So it learns how to remove the noise and reconstruct the original picture.
So it's like training an AI to be a digital restoration expert?
Kind of, yeah. But here's the really cool part.
What?
Once it's learned how to do that, you can give it a starting point of just pure noise.
Like a blank canvas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you give it a text prompt, like a cat wearing a top hat riding a unicycle.
Okay.
And the model uses what it's learned to gradually transform that noise into an image that matches your description.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's like taking those words and turning them into a picture.
Exactly. And because Stable Diffusion has been trained on so many different images, it can handle a huge variety of styles.
So that's why ArtSmart is so versatile. It can make all sorts of different images.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about those advanced customization options the article mentioned?
Right.
What am I missing out on by not having those?
It's not that you're missing out. It's more that ArtSmart is designed to be super easy to use.
Okay.
So it prioritizes speed and simplicity over, like, super fine-grained control.
So I could change the size of the image, the aspect ratio, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can't really control the lighting or the exact arrangement of objects.
Yeah, if you need that level of control, you might want to try something like getimg.ai.
Which brings us to, you guessed it, getimg.ai.
Oh, yeah, that one's fun.
You mentioned those superpowers it has, in-painting and ControlNet.
Right?
Let's talk about those. What can they do?
Okay, imagine you've got this perfect picture, but there's something annoying in the background, like a trash can.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
With in-painting, you can just tell getimg.ai to remove that trash can.
And it will, just like that.
Yeah, and it'll fill in the background so perfectly you'd never even know it was there.
So it's like a magic eraser for photos.
Pretty much, and you can use it for more than just removing objects.
What else can you do?
You can replace parts of an image, like swapping out a cloudy sky for a sunny one.
Wow, so many possibilities.
Oh, right?
Okay, so in-painting is all about editing existing photos.
Uh-huh.
But what about ControlNet? How does that work?
ControlNet is like giving the AI a guide image, almost like a blueprint for the final image.
Okay.
Let's say you want a picture of a person dancing, but in a very specific pose.
Yeah.
You could give getimg.ai a sketch of that pose.
And it would use that to generate the image.
Exactly. It's like giving the AI a reference point.
That's incredible. I'm starting to see how powerful this could be.
And you can use different types of guide images, like sketches, depth maps, color palettes, all sorts of stuff.
You can really fine-tune the final image.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of creative control.
All right, that's getimg.ai, the control freak's dream app.
I like that.
Now let's talk about Monica.im, our multi-talented AI assistant.
Monica can do it all.
It's not just about image generation, right? It can do other stuff too.
Exactly. It's more like a whole suite of AI tools.
The article mentioned over 80 templates. What are those all about?
So let's say you're creating a social media post and you need a visual.
Okay.
Monica.im has templates for things like Instagram stories, Facebook ads, YouTube thumbnails, all kinds of stuff.
So I don't have to start from scratch every time.
Exactly. You can just choose a template and customize it with your own images and text.
That's super helpful. And it's not just about visuals either.
Right. Monica also uses natural language processing to analyze your content and suggest images that would be relevant.
So it's like having an AI art director. That's wild.
It's pretty cool.
And of course, there's that whole multi-language thing, which is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
I'm picturing people all over the world using Monica.im in their own languages. That's so cool.
It's all about making AI more accessible to everyone.
All right, on to Artis, the champion of representation.
Yes, Artis is doing some really important work.
I'm really curious to learn more about how it handles diversity.
So Artis is all about creating realistic images with a wide range of ethnicities, body shapes, and ages.
Like, it's not just adding a few different skin tones. It's actually thinking about representation in a more nuanced way.
Exactly. It's about challenging those old, outdated beauty standards that we often see in AI-generated images.
And promoting a more inclusive visual landscape.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Now let's talk about Leap, our marketing powerhouse.
Leap, the marketing machine.
It seems like this app is all about streamlining the content creation process. Can you give me an example of how that might work?
Sure. Imagine you're a marketing manager for a new clothing brand.
Okay.
You need to create a bunch of social media posts to promote a new line of clothes.
Right.
With Leap, you could use those smart research agents to gather insights about your target audience.
So like what kind of clothes they like, what their interests are.
Exactly. And you could also see what your competitors are doing.
So you can stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. Then you could use the image generation tools to create visuals that are, eye-catching and on-brand.
And then share them directly to social media right from the app.
Exactly. It's all about saving time and making your workflow more efficient.
So it's not just for big companies. Someone with a small business could use this too.
Absolutely. Leap has different pricing plans for businesses of all sizes.
That's great. So we've taken a closer look at each of these amazing apps.
So many cool options.
But before we wrap things up, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier.
What's that?
The importance of understanding the AI technology behind these apps.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's great to be excited about all the possibilities.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
But it's also important to be an informed user,
Yeah.
Understanding how these algorithms work can help you make better choices about which apps to use and how to use them.
So it's not just about playing around, it's about actually understanding what's going on.
Exactly. And knowing the basics can also help you understand the limitations of these tools.
That's a good point.
For example, knowing that an app is powered by a generative adversarial network, can give you insights into its strengths and weaknesses.
All right, so if we want to really master these AI image generators, we need to do our homework and learn about the tech behind them.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
let me ask you this. If you had to choose just one of these apps for yourself, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one.
They're all so cool.
I know, they all have their strengths.
Right.
But if I had to pick just one, I think I'd go with Monica.im.
Oh, why is that?
It's just so versatile, you know? It's not just about images. It can help me with so many different tasks.
In all those languages, that's a big plus.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about you? Which one are you leaning towards?
I'm kind of drawn to getimg.ai. I love the idea of having all that control.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
But now I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on the bigger picture.
Okay.
Are these AI image generators going to revolutionize the creative world?
Good question.
Are there risks we need to be thinking about? We'll tackle those big questions in the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back and ready to wrap up our AI image generator deep dive. We've seen some amazing apps, but now let's talk about the bigger picture. Like, what does this all mean?
Yeah, the impact of this tech.
Are we heading towards some kind of creative utopia where everyone's an artist?
It's definitely an exciting time.
Or are there some, I don't know, darker sides to this AI-powered art world?
That's a good question. There are definitely some things to consider.
Let's get into it. What are some of the concerns people are raising about this whole AI image generation thing? Should we be worried?
Well, one concern I've heard is about the impact on, real artists and designers.
Oh, yeah. Like, will AI replace human artists?
Right. There's a fear that it could lead to job losses or that artistic skills will become less valuable.
That's a valid point, but couldn't you also argue that AI could actually help artists?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, imagine having an AI assistant that can handle all the boring, repetitive tasks so artists can focus on the more creative stuff?
Exactly. I think AI is more about giving artists new tools and possibilities.
Well, it's not about replacing them.
It's like how photography didn't replace painting.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
It just gave artists a new way to express themselves.
Okay, but what about the copyright issue? If I create an image with an AI, who owns it?
That's a tricky one. It's a legal question that's still being sorted out.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Some people say the user who creates the prompt owns the copyright.
Okay.
Others say it belongs to the people who developed the AI.
I see. So it's kind of a gray area right now.
Yeah, I think we'll see new laws and guidelines emerge as this technology becomes more common.
Makes sense. But let's get philosophical for a second. Do you think this could change how we view art?
Interesting question.
Will we start questioning what it means to be an artist in this new AI world?
I think it will definitely spark some interesting conversations about that.
Yeah.
But I also think it might make us appreciate human creativity even more.
How so?
Because AI, at least for now, can't replicate those uniquely human qualities.
Like what?
Things like originality, emotional depth, the ability to convey a personal perspective.
Right, those things are hard to program into a machine.
Exactly.
Okay, last question. What about the potential for misuse?
Yes, that's important.
Could someone use these AI image generators to create fake news or propaganda?
It's definitely a possibility. Any technology can be misused.
Right, it's like a hammer. You can use it to build a house, or you can use it to, break something.
That's a good analogy.
So it all comes down to responsibility, both for the developers and the users.
Absolutely. We need to make sure this technology is used ethically.
And for good, not for evil.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like we're at a really interesting point in history.
Yeah, definitely a turning point.
AI is becoming a bigger part of our lives, and it's up to us to figure out how to use it wisely.
It's an exciting and challenging time.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI image generators for iPhone.
It's been fun.
It's been a wild ride, exploring all the possibilities and also the potential risks. To everyone listening, we encourage you to check out these apps for yourself.
Yeah, give them a try.
You might be surprised by what you can create. Until next time, Keep exploring, keep creating, and keep those imaginations firing.
See you next time.